Hello there everyone and welcome back. We're gonna get you some more Battlefleet Gothic, and this is gonna be a bit of a special treat here. For what I managed to do for this video in particular is my nephew was visiting for the week and I managed to show them what Battlefleet Gothic was all about, and hell, they were even able to have a look at some of the fleets. I already did a handful of battles to show them, but now we're gonna get them involved to a limited extent, for I'll be playing my first battle with Space Marines, and then afterwards we're going to play around with a custom fleet with the Imperial Navy and the Chaos fleets afterwards. So this is going to be my nephew's first foray into this, and he's going to be providing a little bit of commentary in the background there. So it's going to be a bit of a different match, but to keep it short and sweet rather, hopefully you enjoy this special type of video as a result. Oh, is that all? Oh, that does. Better charge that before the storm in that case. Oh, Space Marine mirror match. So this will be interesting. Although,
so you're all cruisers?
Yeah, mine's is 6 cruisers, so they have higher mobility than Imperial Navy and Adeptus Mechanicus, and they have boarding torpedoes to go with regular torpedoes.
Yeah, I think in this game.
Yep.
I think that's oh, you just got a message or something.
Yeah, that was probably your brother there.
But I think going with the mediums, the medium weight guys are probably the best.
They have good capture speed anyway, but almost everyone goes top heavy on the battleships because it's easy to control because there's less of them. They're more, in a lot of ways, they're slower. So, whereas these guys they're kind of finesseful. You need a little bit of finesse because they, as I said, they have higher speed. They don't really have better turning speed though. But let's see, and I don't need Kulex's assassin for this.
I think from what I've watched though, I'm going with that a good in between. If you go too light, you're done. If you go too heavy,
yeah,
you're
almost no one uses light cruisers anymore because it's very difficult to manage, and they have less uses of their abilities too.
Yeah.
They're good for utility though, because like I said, because the light cruisers can also hide themselves with silent running. They conceal themselves, so you can still ambush pretty decently. But what we're doing here is 2 squads of the strike cruisers, and one of them does have fighter bays, so I'm going to use that for fission. I don't know if let's see, plasma bomb could be good if they have a battle barge. Stasis bomb to hold them in place, maybe. Set up for a torpedo run, I like that idea. We'll see how this works. But since I'm limited on fission, it's normally better to have like the beacons, I think. Ooh, but this, if I had to guess, this looks like battle barge 3 strike cruisers. That would be my guess.
We stand ready.
So now, do I want to boost right away? Because their boarding torpedoes have tracking, so if I reveal myself, they could fire those at me at long range. And I'm gonna do it. Let's see if we can. If he does fire torpedoes, let's see if I can dodge them. Assuming they're even equipped with torpedoes.
You have seized a strategic area.
Actually, I'm gonna launch fighters as well.
Hold course.
You move that group in for a flank. I put him in that dust cloud and do him in that flank.
Well, they are concealed. They do see the radar blips, but most important, I want to watch for torpedoes primarily. And that's going to be tricky with one of my headphone pieces also being off there.
They always see the blips.
You have seized
Yep.
a strategic area.
Unless it's silent running, that's the exception. Or high in the gas cloud, then it completely vanishes, but they know I'm kind of in this area. Yeah, see? There was one
like that. I wish it would not show anything.
Well, no, these are like energy signals, but they don't know what kind of class they are. But once silent running, let's see. Once I'm in here, then they'll be concealed.
And then I'd move your other strike cruiser up on the left.
Give us purpose.
Yeah, I might try and grab this 3rd point.
Enemy in
At
sight.
least, okay.
That's a good option.
Let's see, recall the fighters. Oh, so that's probably the battle barge in the gas cloud then. These ones have torpedoes, so they're the same load as what mines are.
Yeah, bring them up on the right once they get a little bit closer. Mark.
They're probably going to kill my fighters though still, so that's unfortunate. And sadly, that frigate there,
Can you boost?
I can boost, yeah. It'll reveal me in the gas cloud though, but...
Boost and trap those guys.
To where we are needed.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Get in there. These guys are overextended.
Yeah, let's fire some torpedoes. Although I should have launched fighters, but don't know if that's a huge issue
This,
yet.
this looks like a good engagement.
Listening.
Yep. Up, boarding torpedoes, so gotta get ready for that.
Enemy. At your command.
Yep, there's the battle barge.
Full speed. Hold course.
So we're just gonna stasis bomb.
Hold advance.
This is
The
a good
enemy
battle.
has seized a strategic area.
These torpedoes are gonna hit.
Show us the enemy. Moving to position. Where shall we strike?
Nope, I'm out of combustion gauge, but hopefully. Nope.
Hold advance.
That unfortunately didn't work out the best. I want to hit with torpedoes, but
Moving to position.
that's gonna hit with torpedoes. That was too close, sadly. There is a minimum range to them, but
You gotta get that moving.
yep, that's out. Plasma bomb's gonna hit, and their engine's gone. So
We stand ready. Underway. Our rock cannot be
and my
denied.
brace for impact just did there. That's gone.
There, you had a good engagement when you did that.
Yep. Now let's see about no. Stop group ordering. I don't want group order. That's bad. Bad group order.
Halt advance.
With that plasma in the middle cannon.
Well, yeah, it's a plasma bomb, but
Calm the machine spirits.
there, that's out.
Focus that one there in the middle. He's surrounded.
Yep, I got bombers going. Torpedoes, its engines are gone, so it can't dodge this. That's the most important thing about these.
That's the boarding party.
No, that was.
Torpedoes.
Yep, now we're gonna ram kill this one off. I am taking a lot of boarding damage though, so.
That is impossible.
But that's pretty much dead.
What's that big AoE?
Oh, disruption bomb. It kills my shields. Which isn't a big deal because Space Marines don't have very strong shields. It's all about their armor. But while the shields are up, I can't take critical hit damage.
How many ships you got? Two?
2. We took down.
Oh,
Oh,
you win. You won.
yep. We just gotta deal with this battle barge.
Successful teleport.
You can repair, so get on out. We're just turning for a nice attack run here.
We stand ready.
What's wrong with the other guy's ship?
What do you mean? He's stuck in a stasis bomb. It slows him down. There, 12 torpedoes just hit the battle barge.
Oh my god.
Although we're about to get rammed, which is unfortunate, but actually we could just kind of kill off the crew right now. Get these out of the way for more torpedoes.
New vector acknowledged.
That's it, Mark.
I am listening.
Yep, it's 12 more torpedoes for good measure. And it's on all sorts of fire. It took the damage really well, but it's on fire.
Where shall we
He's
strike?
done. Why didn't he leave yet?
Oh, he tried to warp out with one of his ships, but my boarding canceled it.
Underway. Show us the enemy.
There. And he's gonna get hit by his own plasma bomb, I think, or did I launch that?
Percent of strategic.
I think I may have launched my own plasma bomb, but either way.
Percent
won.
of strategic
Yep, there's 2 frigates behind us stealing points, so
We are needed.
We'll just split up. One frigate will lose to one cruiser, right?
I am listening.
there.
Too bad you didn't record this one, eh?
No, it is recorded.
Oh, you did record this?
Yep.
Oh, nice. So everyone can hear what we were saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
To an
cool.
extent. So now they know my real name. Thank you very much. I'm gonna have to censor that out. Painstaking effort,
Hey,
spending 8 minutes to censor every single one of those out.
Hey, I made a pretty good call, though.
Yeah.
He overextended, and you just had to go in and catch him on it.
Although, yeah, the odd thing, yeah, Space Marines in general, let's see, torpedoes are really good, but if the opponent knows what they're doing, they can negate them really well. Because you saw what happened against the Drukhari, where if clumped up together, my defenses can shoot them down really
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
It's like that with the torpedoes too, to an extent. So, a lot of cases you'll see with Tau. Sometimes, if I play enough games, Tau have fighters and torpedoes that go together, and their missiles actually have guidance on them. So they launch the fighters first to distract the point defense while the missiles go in and do the damage.
Let's see the different classes the Space Marines have.
Oh, different classes, or you mean the chapters?
No, the different ship class.
Okay, let's have a. You saw the battle barge. There isn't a lot
Wow,
of.
there's almost none.
Yeah, there's not a lot of variety, sadly.
Not for the Space Marines, anyways.
Yeah, but the battle barges are definitely a beast. They have maximum armor all around. They have Well, their firepower is pretty good for Space Marine standards, because they're more about boarding, but they also have the ridiculous boarding to complement it too.
Yeah.
And it's a big, fearsome ship, and it's going to take a massive beating on top of having shields.
Well, I think those, honestly, like as I said, I think in the cruiser, what's the one after cruiser?
You mean light cruiser or battle cruisers?
No, go back to that. Yeah, I think the battle cruiser range is a great place to work at because it gives you a good amount of ships that you can get some surrounds on them.
Yep.
Good positioning.
Although the developers to Tindalos did include brand new type of ships, like the one that was not part of the tabletop game, the Scourge. They introduced that like shortly after Armada 2's release, so it's a completely different
the
ship.
Grand Cruiser.
Yep.
That's what it is.
It's actually a carrier ship of Necrons. They don't have any other carrier ships, so it's unique in that factor as well. So it has like 5 of these fighter bays. And unlike bombers, they don't have bombers, but their fighters actually can do damage to capital ships if they stay on it. So they can be really scary if you don't take them
Can
seriously.
you make a Lodo? I'm not sure what do you call those.
Fleets, yeah.
Can we make a fleet for the Imperial Navy?
Oh yeah, you already seen like 2 of those
I want
fleets,
to
I
take a
believe.
look at their ships. Can I make one?
Yeah, we can make one here. Let's see. So it's a question.
See, I wouldn't even go with the battleship. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even go with one of those.
All right. So the main,
Tell me about these battle cruisers. And
the battle cruisers. Well, they're the same durability and kind of the same firepower as the cruisers here, but all these battle cruisers have additional dorsal turrets on top of them that add additional firepower, and most of their weapons also have increased range. But they're almost the exact copy of these type of ships.
You say they have the same durability?
Yep, same durability. They have a little more resilience to critical hits though, but there's different like loadouts. Like you saw Armageddon, which is my lance variant that have a couple of cannons. The Overlord is kind of the all-rounder with a lot of cannons and lances.
Well,
And the Mars here is the carrier ship with a Nova cannon on it.
they must be quite different because they're a lot more expensive.
Yeah, the fighter base here make it more expensive, and the Overlord is comparable to the Tyrant, and that's because it has extended range on its weaponry here.
What about that Avenger Grand Cruiser? It's 199 points.
Yep. It's a close-range brawler, but it doesn't have the heavy armor on the prow.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Let's look at the cruisers. Tell me what those different.
There's definitely a lot of varieties here. The Lunar is kind of a hybrid of lances and cannons, so it's kind of similar to Armageddon that you saw before. The Gothic's all lances, but it's short-range lances. That's the key thing there, why it's so cheap. So it's hard to really utilize, because at that kind of range, it's very easy for the opponent to either get on top of you with their own heavy cannons.
What about the Dominator?
Nova cannon is amazing. It has the best macro cannons, but they're short range as well. But it complements it with a Nova cannon, which
And how fast are these?
they all go about the same speed. It is kind of like below average to the other factions, or average speed. So they're kind of the all-rounder type of faction. But they have torpedoes and they're good at it, and they have the ramming to complement it.
So they have. Which one's the longest range of those cruisers?
The cruisers. So that would probably be the Tyrant. It has half and half of the long-range macro cannons and the short-range macro cannons.
And it's 170.
Yep.
We're in 3 of those. Or
Yeah,
4.
I've seen fleets of 7 of these.
No, get just 4. Just 4.
Alright. That gives us a lot of points for a battle cruiser or even a
Well,
battleship.
tell me about the battle cruisers.
Battle cruisers, like I said, they're just beefed up. They have more range, and they all have lance turrets to add extra firepower to
Which
them.
one's the longest range for that?
That would probably be the Overlord. Armageddon has slightly short range on its lances, or you could consider the Mars maybe because it has the Nova Camp, but it's more of a support ship, hybrid ship, because it's fighter based to help deal with torpedoes and other fighters. It only has a light amount of macro cannons. It still has the long range lances, and it has the Nova Cannon for doing lots of damage to anything that's slowed down or isolated.
Do you have any slows?
We can get stasis bomb, but ideally you shoot down their engines to cut their speed in half. And they lose access to their boosters when you kill their engines.
Can you throw in 2 Mars?
Yeah, we can.
And what do you have? And throw in a scout?
Yeah, it'll be a single frigate, so it can be tricky, because if they snipe it, we can be kind of blind, but the 2 Marses also can give visions because of the fighters that we have for it.
Alright, you want to give that a try?
Alright, so we just need a quick name, so...
J-Pod Sweep.
J-Pod's Death Fleet. The real question is it a Death Fleet because we're gonna die, or are the enemies gonna die?
Well, to me, it's. I don't know. I've only seen this game since really
Yeah.
tonight, but
Yeah, the main thing is the Nova cannons can be tricky to use because shields are really damn good at absorbing Nova cannon shots because they're rechargeable health and they have no armor anyway. Whereas the Nova cannons ignore armor on the hull if it hits, so that's what makes them really powerful.
what was? Oh, okay, yeah. What? Well, before we start, what was the other options for the battle cruisers? There's the Mars.
There's the Overlord and the Armageddon,
Yeah,
which is the
alright.
Lance one I used.
Well, let's give it a try at the Mars.
All right.
Because I think we have a good. I
Okay.
think this is a good a good strong.
Let's see how many.
composition.
We have 4 tyrants, so we could go with short burn torpedoes, but I could change those in the match itself. So we'll see what happens. An extended range on the flagship, but that's not a huge deal. So we'll see what we come up against.
Pretty nuts, eh?
To see the scale of all the ships with the Star Wars stuff, yeah. Oh, we got more Tau.
Imagine those Corellian cruisers are freaking. They're trash.
The blockade runners.
Oh, they're so stupid. I hate those.
the
Rebel
block
ships look so dumb.
the blocky ships, huh? One of them is called a blockade runner there, so yeah, that's the regular one. I'm trying to remember what the gunship was called.
Corellian cruiser.
Yeah. I think it was a gunboat or something. I want to believe there was something ridiculous in the name there that suggests it was for ramming, but I guess not.
I like this.
Yep, let's see. Are these my Marses?
Yeah, those are your Mars on the right.
No, not quite. Because that has some torpedoes. Where? There you are. So those are my Marses right there. 4 tyrants. We only got a single frigate, so we need to be careful on fission, but at least we don't have to worry about that as much with Tau.
I would split those cruisers up into the middle, or into the. I would put your whatchamacallits in the. I put your battle cruisers in the middle, and then have your all 4 cruisers on the right or left flank.
Yeah, because I want to grab this point with one here. These have the longest range, so if they can kill off the shields, then I could fire Nova cannons at them. It's going to be a slow process though, but the tyrants have at least the macro cannon range to help aid it.
And you have the Nova cannon.
Yep. That's going to be tricky to do, because ideally you want to destroy their engines to get the most value of it, so they can't dodge.
Right.
Now, do I want short burn torpedoes or not? I probably do, because I'm not fully macro cannons to justify armor piercing. Oh. Yeah, you changed your audio cue and we got ourselves with that little box appearing.
I was just putting it up.
Yep.
Put the volume up.
No worries.
It comes. Yeah, it goes away.
Now, do I want stasis bomb? I don't think disruption bomb would be nice, but it's kind of short range too, so gotta be cautious of that. Oh yeah, and our flagship's also a Tyrant, not a Mars, so gotta keep that in mind too. I think I'm fine with this. 9 seconds, so we'll see what happens.
But depending on what side they come in, one of your cruiser groups is going to be flanking.
Yeah.
At least one,
Yeah.
right? So
Just gotta be careful on the flank there, because that encourages them to dive bomb me, because Tau have a lot of almost all their weapons are on the prow facing, or turrets, so
well, that's good because
So
get on the side, right?
yep. The trick is be able to get close enough to be scary, because I can do a lot of damage with torpedoes and the ramming, but they have slightly more mobility. Not much more, but they can turn a lot faster is the main thing. So we'll go see, identify these ships so we can actually target them properly.
Yeah. That right group has to get up further ahead.
Yeah, do I want to boost forward? Well, there's a gas cloud
Yeah,
here.
boost forwards into that.
Because remember, they have seek-guided missiles, which can be a nuisance if I'm not careful. And also, let's see, that's a frigate. Oh, these are crew war spears, never mind.
The enemy has seized a
So we're dealing with 4
strategic
crew
area.
war spears, so these are going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, the crew are actually good.
They're all battleships, basically, and they're immune to critical hits. But they should be good at hitting them with Nova cannons, maybe. There's possibility for
Yeah,
it.
Can you launch one now?
Well, I want to destroy the shields, otherwise it's kind of pointless. Because otherwise the shields are going to absorb the damage and just recharge is why.
Holy crap, those things look stupid.
Yep, war spears. They function a lot like orc rocks, basically.
Orc rocks?
Yep, they're orc rocks in this game too. Now I gotta make sure I prioritize properly. They have short-range weaponry, so I could soften them up, but they have full armor all around, so it's
Those
good.
are Mars?
Yep, Mars is in the middle.
You want them to lead the charge, Mark.
Yep, I'm just having these tyrants kind of hang back. I want to fire Nova cans on them, ideally. And I do have a stasis bomb to kind of pin them. It's just not the best position. It's the only problem, which is why I kind of wish...
This is gonna be it, Mark. Watch that group on the left, get him in the rear.
I want to plant this stasis bomb to keep it in place.
Your orders? Acquiring new vector.
Let's see if these can hit or not. So that should be a good amount of damage there. Sure, I'm kind of stuck in a beacon, so that kind of sucks, but... Ooh, we might do a little bit of hull damage to that too.
Nice, that was big. Hey?
And did a lot of morale damage too. Sadly, we're gonna have to forfeit this point, because... Like, again, they're immune to... Let's see, shields are gone on that one. What I need to do is just keep out of range and ideally don't... Okay, there's the problem. Engines are automatically down. Yeah, they permanently destroyed the engines already, so that sucks.
You gotta get in close, Mark.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do with torpedoes in a moment. I just want to soak the damage for these other ships first.
Yeah, you gotta get in there now.
Yep, let's see if the torpedoes hit. I don't have the short burn torpedoes, but
You got your Nova cannon?
The enemy has seized a
not charged
strategic
yet.
area.
Mutiny, and that they cannot break rally. That's one downside to auxiliary ships. They cannot get control of their ships once they break. So that Nova cannon damage is essential.
Yo, they're dead, Mark. You won.
Yep, just fired melted torpedoes, so those fire damage can also do a lot of morale damage.
Oh, he's got a fourth one, eh?
Yep, there's 4 of them. And there's a hidden light cruiser that's giving them morale bonus, I think, too.
There goes their first ship. Boom!
Yep, that's also broke. This is about to break momentarily. Oh, and this is being boarded heavily, so I need cold arms to keep the crew in line. But I'm gonna ram it. I have spurs, remember? Now, what I would love to do is hit this with more torpedoes, which we can do. And I just fired more melted torpedoes on. That's what's causing all those
Oh,
fires.
they're dead. That wasn't difficult, eh?
Thankfully. Because they didn't deal with the morale the best. Oh, we found the light cruiser. It's down there.
Don't even worry about it. Just hammer these guys and end them. Kill the mutiny ones.
You have
Yeah.
seized a strategic area.
Let's see, actually, I'm just gonna fire Nova cans at it. Let's get the Marses to hit. These 4 can clean up the rest.
We'll just kill the ones that are already...
Oh, they're just disengaging. I don't think we can kill this in time. It might warp out before then. Nope. There's their light cruiser that they were cowering behind.
So you killed one, the other 2... So he's got 1 ship left.
Well, actually, we killed 2 spears because we see the wreckage.
Yeah, but 2 warped out.
Yep.
So he's got 1 ship left?
Just a frigate, which is gone too.
There we go, Mark. Nice work.
Yeah, those Nova cans did amazing because you saw how quickly the morale went down.
Yeah.
So the Marses were important there because it crippled the first one almost immediately. And then the torpedoes did good, even with the slow torpedoes.
See, that was a good build, eh?
Yep, but again, there's 12 factions, so it might be hard to hit the Eldari because they're really fast and mobile. But
Alright, let's go to Chaos. Let's go to Chaos.
That's going to be tricky. Well, like I said, they are all about raiding, harassment. They do have bombers, lots of bombers, but they can be expensive.
Alright.
So
just let's make a new one. Let's make a new one.
Alright. So
Alright.
now we have access to a torpedo Grand Cruiser, if we like to, which is very similar to like the Overlords in a sense that they're kind of well-rounded. They just don't have the heavy prow on the front is the main thing.
I want to know about these cruisers and battle cruisers.
Okay, so Slaughters is a really unique one that you might enjoy. It's the fastest cruiser in the game by
like that.
speed.
Yes.
It's close range dependent, but it has really fast rate of fire weaponry. So it has, if you get in close, you have to commit if you want to keep doing damage.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really close range dependent, which goes against all the other ones because they almost all have max range type of weaponry. So they normally do damage at range and chip them down slowly but steadily.
Alright, tell me about the other ones, Carnage and Murder and
Let's
stuff.
see. This one's another macro can one with prow lances, so ideally it's to chase targets that may be elusive, and macro cans kind of similar concept, a lot of long range harassment. The battle cruisers have a lot of lances, like this Akron's entirely lance based with a couple of missile turrets on top. The Hades is a bit of, let's see, lance turrets, a couple of macro batteries on the side, and more prow lances for chasing. The Stig is a dedicated carrier ship and it has 4 fighter
Nah,
bays.
screw that.
And the Hectate's a bit of a hybrid between a fighter bay and a lance ship.
Alright, so tell me about the Devastation and Murder and stuff.
Devastation, that's a hybrid ship there. Carrier, it's more a support ship like with the carriers, but more macro cannons on it. And
Emasculator?
that one, I think, it's sort of like the Slaughter, but it's more longer range. It has the same type of weapon loadout. Vaguely.
So it's like a medium range.
Yeah.
It's like a medium range then?
Yeah, medium longer range there. Same kind of concept there, but not as fast rate of fire though.
Alright, what about the Murder?
Murder, I think, is all macro cannons.
What's macro cannons?
Those are the basic cannons that you've been seeing. They call them macro weaponry for the capital ships, but basically cannons.
And it's fast or
These all go faster than the Imperial Navy you saw. The Slaughter's the exception in that it goes faster than that, even the cruisers of the
Alright,
Chaos
go down
Fleet.
2 Slaughters and 2 Emasculators.
Alright, Emasculators.
So they're medium range, right?
Yeah, the Emasculators are very similar to the Carnages, keep in mind that.
So what's the difference?
Let's see, the Emasculators cost a little bit more. I'm trying to see. 1350, so this has longer range macro cannons, slightly lesser damage though. Whereas, oh, this has lances. Okay, that explains it.
Yeah, go with 2 Emasculators, 2 Slaughters. And now let's look at the battle cruisers.
Battle cruise. So we have an Akron as a true long range harassment because it's almost all lance weaponry. So it's guaranteed damage at long range, but of course it has nothing for in
I
close.
don't like that.
Hades has macro cannons on the side with some lance turrets on top and a prow lance for if it's chasing something.
Alright, what about the another 2 are
Stig is the carrier ship, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, and the Hectate's a bit of a hybrid. Think the Devastation, but with lance turrets on
go
top.
with 2 Hades.
2 Hades? Yeah, I like the idea of a lot of Slaughters because I haven't experimented with that just yet. But we have the points at least for 2 frigates to give vision.
I think that's good.
So we have the 2 Slaughters for really high speed there, so they can dive or just
They're
do
flankers.
hit and run.
They're flankers.
Yep.
The way I would run it, right, is put an idolator, one on each far corner, right? One on the left, one on the right.
It'll depend heavily on what we're up against, but yeah.
2 Hades in the middle with your Emasculators, and a Slaughter, 2 groups of Slaughters, or the 2 Slaughters on the
Yeah.
right or left.
Let's see, the Emasculators, I'm trying to think the range. So they are closer range because, yeah, the double barrel lance batteries are actually closer range. Which is a bit odd for lances, but hopefully can do decent punch there.
I like this. Alright, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, I almost want them to be Carnages because that synergizes with the armor-piercing ammo.
Oh, does it? Which ones?
It's an upgrade. If we get within point-blank range, we can pierce through a certain amount of their armor. Depending on what we're up against, that can be really
go
good.
With the Carnage instead of the Emasculators.
Yeah, because Emasculators have the lance there, where the Carnages are the same speed, but more macro cans onto it.
Alright, throw on 2. Yeah.
There. There we go. Suicide Fleet.
Alright.
Because it goes against Chaos thought process.
Wow.
Now, what sub? Well, as I said, Chaos are kind of raiders with their capital ships, since
Yeah,
they.
screw that. Chaos is gonna act like
Now
Chaos.
here's the big question, the sub factions, because
Iron
Nurgle.
Warriors.
Well, let's see, Nurgle, Slanesh,
Iron
Thousand Suns, and World Eaters all have special abilities to get access
Iron
to.
Warrior.
You want Iron Warriors, huh? All right. So we'll stick with Plasma Bomb, maybe Stasis Bomb to kind of pin things down. There's
Stasis is perfect.
armor piercing ammo. And at least Stasis Bomb's really good when you're aggressive because of the range, or if you, well, actually it's better for defensive because of the range rather, because you can put it in front of an enemy and it lasts for like 20 seconds. But there's armor piercing ammo for when we get close. And the interesting thing, a mission dissipator, I can use my boosters and it won't reveal the ships, or
That's
so they can't get shot at unless they're scanned, which can, if used properly, can be really good.
That lets you get right on top of them without taking damage.
Or at least get within sensor range anyway. So that could be useful. And otherwise, what else? Extended range, better accuracy at range. That's a unique skill they have there. Reduces the fall off. But otherwise, not a lot of upgrades to enhance such a macro can heavy fleet outside of armor piercing. So we'll see how this does. Any recommendations on the portrait though?
The one second farthest on the right.
On the right, this one?
No, the second farthest on the right. That one, yeah.
Okay. I completely ignored the demon there, thinking it wasn't a portrait.
Yeah, screw the demon.
Because all of our weapons are on the broadside too, so even if we dive bomb, it can be tricky. Oh, mirror match.
This is gonna be good.
We're facing off against word bearers. So, they don't have special upgrades and skills of the dark gods either. Or the ruinous powers, I guess they're called. So they get no special favors. But, what kind of weaponry do they have? Can we punish them heavily with our close range prowess? And a little bit of with several different cruiser types no less, because we have two prow lances, so they can be good at initiating maybe, to kind of get their attention.
Well, put your super light ones out on the far reaches
Okay,
to get good scouting.
let me separate them first. So this is Carnage. Okay, here's our two slaughters here. With the flagship. Carnage. There's the two Hades there, so they're probably going to be the front runners because they can hit with the prow lances as they go in.
And then put your scouts on either end.
Alright, so we'll just put this on with the slaughters. I mean, this might just grab this objective as a bonus. We'll see
Yes.
how it plays out.
But no, I would put this guy down there too, by himself. Right down. I put him right there.
Alright, if you want to try that.
And then these guys on the right or left. And these four grouped up in the middle.
Alright, these are the Carnage, okay. Oh, these four groups up, you say?
Yeah. And then put your other two. Move this guy down more. Move him down to the next arrow.
Alright, so we're just gonna ignore the objective then?
Oh, I'll go in and beat them.
Alright.
And then these guys, bring them over to the cloud.
Alright.
Yeah, there we go.
So, now, we have the Plasma Bomb, we have Stasis Bomb to keep them from running, ideally. Or we can stick with Disruption Bomb to kill their shields, but... I like the idea of Stasis Bomb because they can't turn if they're stuck in there, so we can get behind them maybe.
So we're gonna have to be careful here on your guys on the flanks so they don't get caught. Your two little escort ships.
Yep, we have no fighter base, so we don't have an easy way to identify them either, so... We do have a mission dissipator to kind of maybe have the frigate spot. Alright, so let's see what happens here. We're ignoring the objectives this time.
Oh, there they are. Yeah. Get him out there. Bring this guy up far because they're spawned right in the middle.
Yep.
And that, I would bring your middle group off to the right side and in.
Yep, we just gotta make sure we're able to focus fire, so that's the important thing.
Well, look, they're two groups split by the asteroids. If you can jump them right when they're split like that,
Yeah,
golden.
but we're not gonna be able to get in there that close, so... Don't know if we want to prioritize engines, because we don't know if they're actually gonna run away from us when we get in
You
close. That's the
have
tricky
seized the
thing.
strategic area.
just you have to be very careful that you have good timing with the flank on the right group because your Your slaughters are faster, right?
So what I'm going to do is set priority on these things. Actually, I might prioritize weapons on these two so that way they can't hit us as hard. Frigate's going to go spot. I just got to keep an eye on how recharged our boosters are is the big thing.
This is it.
Nope, they have fighters coming, so one of those is like a Stig or a despoiler, which is the
enemy
carrier
has seized
battleship.
Strategic area.
Bring them right up the. Bring them up.
Yeah,
bring 'em
I-
up straight now.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on boosters because it's almost expended. Okay, Grand Cruisers, and there's a spoiler there.
The enemy has seized
All right,
a
get in there.
strategic area.
Boost in or something. This is it.
Your orders.
Yep. Nice. This is gonna be it.
Yep, just gotta make sure we prioritize and actually make sure these slaughters protect each other too.
Enemy ship sighted.
We gotta get good focuses.
To the slaughter.
Yep, I'm telling the focus the one Grand Cruiser there.
Reporting.
And once the shields are gone on this one, I'm gonna board it with lightning strikes. Oh, supercharged forward shield, so...
Bring this in.
Oh, combustion. So engines are kind of burnt here there, so gotta protect this.
Activated. We are unstoppable. I cannot, master.
So they killed the shield, we're doing good damage on this so far.
Activated. Moving to those coordinates.
And bring them forwards. Bring them all forwards.
Yep, just gotta make sure everything is organized and reload as well.
We are unstoppable. Red rose activated. I cannot, master.
So they're trying to ram us. The Carnages got their boosters back up, so now we can fire from both sides. It's pretty good here in this exchange. Just gotta make sure they can't focus down the ships the best. That's gonna be the scariest thing.
Get moving, Mark.
Yep. Yep, they're trying to ram us now.
Okay, he's almost done. Keep turning.
Yep, just gotta be careful not to ram my own ships. So it's getting a little too cramped. But that's dead.
Alright, swing up top. Go north.
Yep, plasma bomb. We'll prioritize this one next. I want to kill the deck, maybe kill its morale. Because its shields died just as the plasma bomb went down.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, the wreckage is kind of, you see this, the wreckage is taking some of the hits though, so it's not the best, but what I want to do is get this slaughter behind the rest of my fleet, because it's taking a lot of damage. So everything's going to boost up, we might have to disengage, but we're going to protect this by getting it behind everything else.
Yeah. And now you can switch your focus to the one in the rear.
The battleship, yep, and stasis bomb to hold it in at play, or at bay.
Tear them apart.
All guns on that guy. Look, they're split. They're split now.
Yep, flagship's being boarded though, so we have to watch that.
I cannot, master.
He's got full shields.
He used the supercharged void shield skill, so that'll change momentarily.
Alright, blow him up, Mark. He's all alone. You got left alone.
Yep,
To those coordinates.
and we got plasma bomb coming up in a moment, so I'm gonna have to cancel this.
We cannot fight.
Watch your middle ship.
For the ruin of
Ah, dang it, they killed my generator, so I don't have access to my plasma bomb anymore.
Watch your middle ship. Get him out of there.
Yep, trying. I want my plasma bomb, I'm not getting it.
as the war master will.
So that's unfortunate.
Our victims. Engines hot.
Okay, they burnt rally.
For the war master.
Get this in nice and close, get these two turning.
We'll follow your command. For now. Enemy ship sighted. We stand.
It's not quite dead yet. Sadly, the flagship's about to die, so...
Detected.
So that's unfortunate there. Can we hunt this down? Because supercharged void shield's what's killing us right now, because it's recharging health really well.
Feel us, for we strike
He's
from
blocking.
the wall.
Yep, we're going to do a hard turn,
Yeah.
Setting course.
because they're going to suffer morale problems, and we're hitting this ship as well, keep in mind, so we're getting bonus shots on this. And that's losing a lot of weaponry.
Fear us.
So technically we're hitting two ships at once now. So we might actually kill both these at the same time if we're lucky enough.
There we go. Bring him down.
Kill the deck on that. So that broke. That's mutinied now. Just killed off.
Flat.
We'll follow your command.
We don't have the flagship. That is out of the fight because the deck's gone. They cannot restore order. So all that's left is this one ship.
As the war master
Although
will.
it's still a little bit cramped, so we
You
gotta
bring
be.
your little scout in here
We
too.
stand ready.
Oh yeah, one of them died, so
We are unstoppable.
Keep chasing them. Keep
we
chasing
don't
them.
need to kill that. I told you it's out of the fight. This is the only one that can to shoot at us.
For the war master.
And kill the little
Moving to those
stupid one.
coordinates.
Oh, they're both mutant. There, he's gone.
Executing high energy turn.
Yeah, we are ramming ourselves a bit, but we're in good shape now. Deck's also gone on this one, so if it breaks, that can't restore order
Show
either.
us our victims.
And hell, let's board it for more morale damage, because
Reporting.
oh, we lost the crew of this one ship, but that's not a big
Look at how
deal.
much damage he's taking. Ram him.
Yep, ram it and finish it.
Adjusting rotation.
That should be over. There just could be frigates around causing problems.
Now.
So all that's left is to just secure the points, clean up the mess.
And swing him around. Swing him around, Mark.
Unstoppable.
Yep, we'll actually kill this as a bonus. These two are going to kill off this.
Yeah. Chase the mutant one.
Yeah, this has no engines, but we
Very good.
let me switch the lock on because that extends our range and accuracy, so we can kill both of them while we grab the objectives now.
Setting course.
They're done. We won.
Show us our
Yep, that worked out nicely. It was a bit scary because the flagship was taking so much
Yeah,
damage
he was taking so much.
because it was recharge. It has the ability to recharge its shields as well as be immune to damage while the supercharge was up.
engines hot.
Well, one cruiser gone, committing suicide, so that's a good sign of victory.
For the war master.
There goes his last ship. Second last ship.
Yep.
Moving to those
So that worked out
coordinates.
well. It was a bit scary at first, but we were hitting two ships at once there for a
Gotta be
good.
aggressive, Mark.
We were hitting two ships at once too, so that helped a lot, doing damage and turning around at the end there.
Well, yeah. That's the thing, right? Like, you just maneuvered around, focus fired the best one, and
Yep,
they
and we
fought.
managed to
Easy.
we managed to juke around the Grand Cruise that was protecting the flag, the big the spoiler, the flagship. So
Easy, easy.
that was fun.
Hey, you like that, eh?
Yeah,
That's a good build.
I don't know how much damage the prow lances did. That's kind of tricky to know because we were relying a lot on the broadside weaponry. But that was fun. They had extended range. There's the supercharged void shield there.
That's powerful, eh?
Yep.
Oh.
It can be countered, but we don't have an upgrade to counter that the best. So we have to brute force. We could get a disruption bomb if we were. That's one of the reasons you get a disruption bomb, because that can immediately kill the shields.
Now bronze, these guys aren't very good.
Or they, well, let's see. Like all my fleets are bronze, but that's mainly because I didn't play any matches since the reset. Because this is like the 4th season so far.
But you were legend or something? Was the
Let's-
highest you said?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it only shows 5 stars, so I don't think that's really legend there, alas. But that was the one I played as for the legend run at least. And I got legends with Imperial Navy really early on without really trying, so
Yeah.
that worked out well. I don't think it showed that all. No, it showed. No, it doesn't show me as 5 stars. 4 stars, but not 5. That was probably before they introduced those. But yeah, that was all fun. We'll have to try for that tomorrow or something, maybe a bit more.
Yep, that's it.